China became the third country to independently send humans into space with the launch of Yang Liwei aboard Shenzhou 5 in 2003. Since then, they have conducted several crewed missions, including spacewalks and the establishment of their own space station. Tianlong China's Chang'e program aims to explore the moon. Chang'e 1 2007 and Chang'e 2 2010 were successful lunar orbiters, while Chang'e 3 2013 made China the third country to achieve a soft landing on the moon, deploying the U2 rover. Subsequent missions, Chang'e 4 2019 and Chang'e 5 2020, made historic achievements, such as the first soft landing on the far side of the moon and the return of lunar samples to Earth. China's Tianlong program aims to establish a modular space station in low Earth orbit LEO. Core modules, Tianhe, Tianzhu spacecraft, and Shenzhou crewed spacecraft are key components launched to assemble the station. The space station will facilitate scientific research, technological experiments, and international collaboration. China has ambitious plans for space exploration, including crewed missions to the Moon and Mars, further lunar exploration, deep space exploration, and satellite deployment for communication, navigation, and Earth observation. Tianwen-1, China's first independent mission to Mars, successfully entered Martian orbit and deployed a rover Zhurong in 2021. Zhurong's mission includes exploring the Martian surface, studying soil composition, and analyzing the atmosphere. In 1968, formal research on China's human spaceflight began with the founding of an Institute for Medical and Space Engineering in Beijing. In 1970, China launched its first satellite, Dongfeng Hongwan, into orbit. In 1975, China launched and recovered its first recoverable satellite, Fanhui Shanwixing. In 1986, the Chinese government funded the 863 program, which aimed to develop science and technology in key areas, including space capabilities. In 1992, the Chinese Human Spaceflight Program. In 1992, the Chinese Human Spaceflight Program, also known as Project 921, was formally approved. In 1994, China signed a cooperation agreement with Russia to purchase aerospace technologies. In 1995, China signed a deal with Russia for the transfer of Soyuz spacecraft technology. In 1996, 2 Chinese astronauts began training at the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center in Russia. In 1998, a mock-up of the Long March to F launch vehicle with the Shenzhou spacecraft was rolled out for integration and facility tests. In 1999, the first uncrewed Shenzhou 1 spacecraft was launched from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. In 2001, the second test flight of Shenzhou occurred. In 2002, China launched Shenzhou 3, both ended in success. In 2003, the fifth launch, Shenzhou 5, carried the first human, Yang Liwei, into space. In 2005, the first multi-person and multi-day crewed spaceflight, Shenzhou 6, was conducted. In 2008, Shenzhou 7 was launched into space with 3 astronauts. In 2011, China launched an 8,000 kilograms target vehicle, Tianlong 1, followed by the first uncrewed Shenzhou spacecraft since Shenzhou 5. Shenzhou 8, in 2013, crewed spacecraft Shenzhou 10, carrying astronauts Mi Haisheng, Zhang Shewang, and Wang Yaping, was launched into orbit and docked with Tianlong 1. In 2016, China conducted the maiden flight of Long March 7, a new generation medium-lift launch vehicle. In 2016, Tianlong 2 was launched into orbit. In 2017, China's first cargo spacecraft, Tianzhu 1, docked with Tianlong 2 and completed multiple in-orbit propellant refueling tests. In 2020, China successfully launched the maiden flight of Long March 5B, whose payload capability was greater than 22,000 kilograms, allowing China to put a large space station module into low Earth orbit. In 2021, the second Long March 5B rocket lifted off, carrying the 22,500 kilograms Tianhe core module, the most complex spacecraft independently developed by China. In 2021, The first cargo spacecraft to the space station, Tianzhu-2, was launched by a Long March 7th rocket and docked with the Tian core module. In 2021, the first crewed mission to Tian, Shenzhou-12, was launched from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. In 2021, the Shenzhou-12 crew returned to Earth safely. In 2021, Tianzhu-3 cargo spacecraft was launched to Tiangong Space Station. In 2021, Shenzhou-13 was launched and docked with the Tian core module. In 2022, Tianzhu-2 cargo spacecraft was undocked from the Tian core module after completing its mission, followed by its controlled re-entry into the atmosphere over the South Pacific. In 2022, the Shenzhou-13 crew returned to Earth safely. In 2022, Tianzhu-4 cargo spacecraft was launched to Tiangong Space Station, which docked with the station the next day. In 2022, Shenzhou-14 was launched and docked to the Tian core module almost 7 hours later. In 2022, the third Long March 5B rocket lifted off from Wenchang, carrying the 23,200 kilograms Wenchang laboratory cabin module, the largest and heaviest spacecraft launched by China. In 2022, the fourth Long March 5B rocket lifted off from Wenchang, carrying the 22,500 kilograms Wenchang laboratory cabin module, the second laboratory module of Chang'e. In 2024 May 3rd, a Chinese rocket is moving towards the moon with a space mission named Chang'e 6 weighing 800,000 kilograms. This mission will not only land on the southern part of the moon, but will also return to Earth after collecting some samples from there.